All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, the Golden State Warriors entered free agency expecting to have some casualties, but they also were expected to retain some players from their championship team while also making some moves, which is what they've done. Now, so far, during this free agent period. We've seen Golden State lose Gary Payton II to the Portland Trailblazers for a 3-year, $33 million deal. Forward Otto Porter Jr. is leaving as well, as he is now a member of the Toronto Raptors. But Golden State was able to re-sign big man Kevon Looney, while they also picked up free agent guard Dante DiVincenzo. And for Looney, he came off of a season where he averaged a career high 7.5 boards. And on top of that, we saw a guy who really stepped up and asserted himself in those moments when the Warriors needed him on the glass during this championship run. You go back to when Golden State was able to close out Memphis in the second round of the playoffs. Looney was big on the boards. He had his moments on the boards versus the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. Wasn't as big in the NBA Finals versus the Boston Celtics, but nonetheless, this is a guy who was an important role player for this championship team, and he can still be an important role player for this team going forward. You think about Dante DiVincenzo, and prior to the Achilles injury with the Milwaukee Bucks, he was a solid role player coming off the bench for them. You know, things really didn't work out with him with the Sacramento Kings, but honestly, you can say that for a lot of people where things don't work out when they play for the Kings. Nonetheless, I think that Dante DiVincenzo signing with the Warriors is a move that is going to fly under the radar this summer. However, next postseason, a lot of people are going to be talking about this move because I think this is a guy that fits in perfectly with the system that the Golden State Warriors have in play. DiVincenzo is a guy who can do a little bit of everything. He can shoot, he can handle the ball. He's a solid defender, not a great defender, but he's solid. He's a guy that knows how to operate without the basketball, and that's important when you think about the players that the Warriors have on this team, the likes of Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, guys with the ball in their hands, but it's also important for those guys around them and how effective that they can be without the basketball. And you think about that because it's part of DiVincenzo's makeup. Because you think about those Villanova guards that have come to the NBA after they played for Jay Wright. And these guys are effective without the basketball. They know a system when they get to the NBA. And I think this is why a guy like DiVincenzo is going to have a big time impact for the Warriors. For me, the losses of Peyton and Porter Jr. will definitely hurt, especially now since we're not that far removed from the Warriors winning the championship, not that far removed from the Warriors having their parade. And obviously, of course, the sentiment is always you want to try to keep as much of that team together as possible in the attempts to run it back. I feel like the Warriors weren't going to pay either Porter Jr. or Peyton what they got on the free agent market. And unfortunately, those are the casualties that come with a championship team. So let's see how DiVincenzo fits in. And obviously, Looney was already a big part of that team in the middle, at least. So now he's back. And you think about the Warriors as a whole, solid blend of young talent along with the veterans that will help to put them in position to make another run at the NBA championship next season. You still have obviously Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Those three have been a part of four NBA championship teams for the Dubs. You bring in a new guy like Andrew Wiggins, and of course, Andrew Wiggins was a solid scorer, always has been. And since he put that Warriors uniform on, he's become a better defender. You think about the youngsters, the likes of Jonathan Kaminga and Jordan Poole as well. And then Golden State is also hopeful to have a healthy James Wiseman back this season. And James Wiseman can play. It's just the fact that he's been unable to stay healthy during his brief NBA career. So the bottom line is, yeah, the Warriors lost some players, but they also made some solid pickups as well. And I think this team, not saying that they're ready to hoist up the Larry O'Brien trophy next spring, but nonetheless, they are going to find themselves right back in the mix again. I said it before on this podcast, and I'll say it again. DiVincenzo signing with the Warriors is a move that is going to fly under the radar for now, but I guarantee you next spring, come playoff time, a lot of people are going to sit back and look at this move. These subtle moves are the moves that help to keep the Warriors going. You think about what they've done over the years, and some of their moves have flown under the radar. Nobody talked about Otto Porter when he joined the Warriors. Nobody talked about Gary Payton when he joined the Warriors, and they were vital for this championship run, or they were a part of this championship run. Nonetheless, we've seen the Warriors consistently do that in recent years. This is why they are a step above most of the teams in the NBA. And this is why, when they're healthy, they are in contention to consistently win the NBA championship. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There is also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off. Say take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.